The spacecraft glided silently through the vast darkness of space, its polished surface glimmering with reflections of distant stars. Inside, the Greys worked in perfect synchrony, their minds linked by a unified purpose. Every motion, every command was executed with seamless precision. Within minutes, the initial collection protocols were underway. Target identified, reported Analyst 3. Subject is a male human, mid-30s, residing in a region called the United States of America. He appears to be a typical specimen of the species. Proceed, commanded Overseer 1. A beam of light descended from the ship, slicing silently through Earth's atmosphere. It locked onto the target, surrounding him with an energy field that rendered him unconscious before gently lifting him into the air. Within seconds, he was aboard the ship, lying motionless on a soft surface, prepared for examination. Begin preliminary scans, Overseer 1 instructed, watching as the Greys diligently began their work. The subject's vitals illuminated a holographic display: heart rate, brain activity, muscle composition. Each detail was scrutinized, revealing the human's physical fragility and heavy reliance on technology and social constructs for survival. Fascinating, murmured Analyst 3. His neural patterns indicate high emotional activity, as though their minds are perpetually in flux, driven by emotions. Interesting, Overseer 1 mused. This emotional dependency may explain their unpredictable behavior. We need to study this further. The Greys continued their meticulous examination. Overseer 1 sensed that the initial reports had overlooked something vital, something deeper within these beings. Prepare a full cognitive analysis, they ordered. We must understand how humans think, what motivates them, and their potential. Understood, Analyst 3 replied, initiating the process of probing the human's mind. Brain waves fluctuated wildly on the display, sparking an unfamiliar sensation within Overseer 1: curiosity, perhaps even excitement. Despite their advanced knowledge, the Greys found humans to be puzzling. Their expressive faces and emotional minds were unlike anything encountered before. As the data poured in, a surprising notion took root. Humans, with their fragile forms and intricate emotions, stirred something unexpected in the Greys: a sense of protectiveness. A desire emerged not just to study but to care for these beings. They would make excellent companions, Overseer 1 projected, their thoughts aligning with the data. Their behavior suggests a need for connection, for guardianship. If we collect more, we can provide for them, and in return, they might bring us a unique sense of joy. Yes, agreed Analyst 3, their thoughts echoing a newfound purpose. Companions, perhaps even pets. By observing them closely and meeting their needs, we could experience something entirely new: comfort in their presence. With this realization, the Greys prepared to expand their collection. The smooth success of the first acquisition fueled their eagerness to gather more. This was no longer just about observation, it was about connection, about building a new kind of bond with these delicate creatures. Continue the observation, Overseer 1 instructed, their tone steady. There is much to learn and consider. For the first time, the Greys felt a pull beyond detached curiosity, a desire to nurture, to protect, and to cherish these fascinating beings from Earth. This mission marked the start of a journey that would not only challenge their understanding of humanity but also transform their perception of themselves. As the newly acquired human lay peacefully aboard the ship, the Greys floated in their low-gravity environment, quietly satisfied with their latest endeavor. Commence Phase 2 monitoring of the acquired organism, Overseer 1 directed, their telepathic tone tinged with pride. Proceeding with gentle observation, Analyst 3 confirmed, activating the faint glow of the monitoring systems. The holographic interface displayed readings indicating that the human, in a state the Greys identified as sleep mode, was deeply at rest. Such delicate forms, Analyst 3 remarked, their large visual receptors blinking synchronously. Their outer layer is soft and pliable, lacking natural defenses. It is remarkable they have thrived in Earth's ever-changing environment. Indeed, Overseer 1 agreed, their tone laced with a faint warmth. Their fragility enhances their charm. They are like gentle companions requiring care and protection. Communication Specialist 5, monitoring the containment of other humans aboard the vessel, joined the mental exchange. Their behavior is mesmerizing. They display a wide range of social and emotional interactions that are deeply engaging. It almost seems as though they are designed to evoke a nurturing instinct. Yes, Overseer 1 responded, their mental tone calm. Their expressive faces and vulnerable forms make them ideal for companionship. I find them quite agreeable. The human remained in a peaceful slumber, their neural activity slow and rhythmic, indicative of deep rest. The Greys observed with satisfaction, pleased by the tranquility their new subject radiated. Where should we place this one? Analyst 3 asked, their thoughts focused on managing the new acquisition. We will situate this one in the communal habitat we have prepared, Overseer 1 decided. It is equipped with everything needed to ensure comfort and well-being. The space replicates their natural environment, creating a familiar setting for them when they are not under close observation. The communal habitat aboard Celestial Exploration Unit 7 was a carefully designed space, modeled after Earth's varied landscapes. Sections resembled lush forests, complete with simulated foliage and gentle water sounds. Other areas mimicked human dwellings, featuring soft resting surfaces and interactive displays. Each individual has been provided with a personalized space. Communication Specialist 5 explained. We've ensured their needs are met, including food, water, and most importantly, social interaction with others of their kind. Overseer 1 observed the sleeping human with quiet contentment. They are truly endearing creatures, they remarked. Their appealing appearance, combined with their need for connection and limited intellect, makes them ideal for our guardianship. As the Greys continued their observations, the humans explored the communal habitat. Some wandered through the simulated forests, while others rested on the soft platforms or engaged with the visual displays. The environment was serene, and the humans appeared content, seemingly unaware of the cosmic beings observing them with a blend of scientific curiosity and affection. The human stirred, his first awareness being the unusually soft surface beneath him, softer than anything he had ever encountered. Blinking against the ambient light that seemed to radiate from every surface, he felt disoriented. The warmth was almost excessive, and the faint, artificial scent in the air unsettled him. For a moment, he remained still, trying to make sense of his surroundings and recall how he had gotten here. The last thing he remembered, what was it? Panic swelled as he sat upright, scanning the unfamiliar environment with wide eyes. The space was a surreal blend of natural elements and unnaturally perfect cleanliness. "Hey, take it easy," a calm voice called out, steady but firm. He turned sharply to see a man approaching, tall, in his mid-30s, with a composed expression that didn't quite reach his eyes. Behind him stood several others, their expressions a mix of concern and something more unsettling. "Where am I?" the man demanded, his voice trembling. "What is this place? What's going on?" "Relax," the man replied, raising his hands in a placating gesture. "You're safe. For now." For now, the newcomer's voice wavered, his gaze darting around again. "What does that mean? Who are you? Where am I?" "Well," the man said seriously, "you're not in Kansas anymore. Or on Earth, for that matter." "I'm sorry to break it to you like this," the man said, his tone apologetic, "but you've been abducted. We all have. We're on some kind of alien spaceship." Jack felt as if the air had been knocked out of him. An alien spaceship? That's insane. "I know it sounds unbelievable," a woman interjected, stepping forward. She appeared to be in her late 20s, her face a mix of sympathy and resignation. "But it's the truth. We've all been taken. Some of us have been here for days, others longer. We've managed to piece together bits of what's going on." Jack's eyes darted around the group. There were about a dozen people, each one wearing the same haunted expression. Their fear and confusion mirrored his own. "This can't be real," he muttered, shaking his head in denial. "There has to be some mistake." "No mistake," the man replied gently. "I'm Greg Larson, by the way. We've all felt exactly what you're feeling right now." "I'm Sarah," the woman added, moving a step closer. She gestured around the strange environment. "I know this is a lot to process, but we're all in this together. We'll help you." Jack swallowed hard, struggling to steady his voice. "I'm Jack Thompson. But none of this makes sense. Why would aliens take us?" "We're still trying to figure that out," Greg said, a trace of frustration creeping into his voice. "From what we've gathered, they think we're pets." Jack's voice rose in disbelief, but the others quickly hushed him, their expressions tense. "Keep your voice down," Sarah urged, her tone serious. "The Greys don't like it when we're upset or agitated. They're always watching, and they react if they sense stress." "React how?" Jack asked, lowering his voice to a whisper as he noticed their unease. "They haven't heard us, not yet," Greg explained in a hushed tone. "But if we get too upset, they sedate us or put us in these deprivation rooms. You can't see or hear anything in there, just their strange thoughts. It's unsettling, to say the least." "They think they're helping," Sarah added bitterly. "But it's more like they're trying to control us. We've learned to play along, act like we're okay. It keeps them off our backs while we figure out a way out of this." Jack's head spun as he processed their words. The idea that these beings saw them as pets as something to be tamed and managed was both horrifying and absurd. Yet the gravity of the situation was clear in the other's eyes. "So what do we do now?" he asked, his voice trembling with fear and uncertainty. "For now we keep up appearances," Sarah said firmly. "We act like we're adjusting, like we're fine. The Greys see us as unintelligent, incapable of advanced thought, like we'd view a dog. We can use that to our advantage." Greg nodded. "We're working on a plan. We don't know much about their technology or how this ship works, but we've noticed patterns, times when their surveillance isn't as tight. We think we can use those gaps to escape." Jack scanned the strange surroundings, the unnaturally smooth ground, the artificial sky overhead, the pristine yet alien imitation of Earth. "What happens if they catch us?" he asked hesitantly. "Then we're in deep trouble," Greg admitted. "But just sitting around, waiting for whatever they have planned, isn't an option. We have to try." Jack swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the situation pressing down on him. Everything about this felt wrong, like a nightmare he couldn't wake from. But the determination in Greg and Sarah's faces gave him a sliver of hope. "Okay," he said finally, his voice steadier than he felt. "What do I need to do?" "Stick with us," Sarah said, offering a small, encouraging smile. "We'll fill you in on what we know. The most important thing is to stay calm and keep up the act. We can't let them suspect anything." "Welcome to the team," Greg added, clapping him on the shoulder. "We'll get through this one way or another." As the group moved cautiously, Jack's gaze flicked around nervously, aware of the unseen eyes watching them. For now he would play the part. But beneath his surface calm, fear mingled with a growing determination. He wouldn't let himself become a pet to these beings. He would find a way out, no matter the cost. The days aboard the alien vessel began to blur for Jack and the others. The artificial environment, a flawless yet unsettling imitation of Earth, was a constant reminder of how far they were from home. The most unsettling part, however, was the Greys themselves. Every day, a Grey would enter the habitat and select one of the humans for what they called a walk. It was clear the Greys believed these outings were essential for the human's physical health and emotional stability, akin to how one might walk a dog. Jack was lying on a cushion-like platform, an alien approximation of a bed, when it happened to him. The Grey floated into the room, its large, expressionless eyes locking onto him. Despite its lack of a mouth or facial expression, Jack could feel its focus, an unsettling sensation. "Come here, little one," the Gray's thoughts echoed gently in Jack's mind, its tone coaxing and soft. "It's time for our walk. You need your exercise, don't you?" "Yes, you do." Jack swallowed hard, suppressing the anxiety bubbling inside him. He had quickly learned that the Greys disliked signs of stress or agitation. They preferred their pets to be calm and obedient. Taking a deep breath, he stood up and walked toward the Grey, mimicking the compliant demeanor of a well-trained animal. "That's a good human," the Grey projected warmly as Jack approached. "We're going to have a nice, calm walk. It's important for you to stay healthy and happy." This ritual would become a daily occurrence, a carefully orchestrated routine that seemed to condition Jack for whatever the Greys had planned. While his body complied, his mind worked tirelessly, plotting a way to break free. Jack forced himself to nod, though the alien thoughts echoing in his mind still unsettled him. The Greys had no understanding of human speech. Their entire communication was done through invasive telepathy. As they walked, Jack observed the ship's sterile and artificial design, the smooth, gleaming corridors lit by a soft glow emanating from the walls. There was no sound, no hum of machinery, just an eerie silence broken only by the Grey's incessant mental chatter. "Such a good human," the Grey projected, its tone like someone praising a dog. "This is good for you. Keep moving, stay active. We want you to be healthy and happy, yes we do." Jack clenched his fists, forcing his face to remain neutral. He loathed this being treated like a pet, but knew he had to play along. They all did. Keeping the Greys unaware of their true thoughts was the only way to stay safe. As they walked, Jack scanned his surroundings, searching for anything that could aid in their escape. Then he saw a large, round door set into the wall, standing out from the ship's smooth, uniform design. Next to it was a panel of glowing symbols, distinctly different from the rest of the ship's seamless panels. "Here we go." Nice and steady, the Grey's thoughts continued, oblivious to Jack's growing interest in the door. "We're having such a good time, aren't we?" "Yes, we are." Jack's focus remained on the door. It didn't match the rest of the ship, and the symbols on the panel intrigued him. Could it be an exit? Beyond the door, he glimpsed what appeared to be a control panel and seats. His heart raced. Was it an escape pod? He forced himself to remain calm, knowing the Grey could sense heightened emotions. "What's this?" Jack thought deliberately, trying to see if the Grey would react. It didn't. The alien simply guided him past the door, continuing their walk as if nothing were amiss. When the walk was over, Jack returned to the habitat and immediately sought out Greg and Sarah. They were sitting with others, speaking quietly about their predicament. "Greg, Sarah," Jack whispered, glancing around to ensure no Greys were nearby. "I think I found something." Greg straightened, his expression serious. "What is it?" "During the walk," Jack explained, "I saw a door. It looked different from everything else. There was a panel next to it with symbols I haven't seen before. It might be an escape pod." Sarah's eyes widened slightly before she quickly composed herself. "Are you sure?" "I'm not sure of anything," Jack admitted, his voice low. "But it didn't look like the rest of the ship. It could be important." Greg leaned in, his voice calm but firm. "If it is, we need to figure out how to use it. But we can't rush. If the Greys suspect anything, they'll tighten control over us." He smirked faintly. "We have to be smart about this." Jack nodded. "I don't know how we'll figure out the controls, though. It's all alien." "We'll take it slow," Sarah said. "Next time you're out, try to get a closer look. Memorize the symbols if you can. We'll compare notes and see if anyone recognizes anything." The rest of the group began to gather, listening intently. A fragile sense of hope glimmered among them. For now, they would continue to act as obedient captives, appeasing the Greys with false displays of contentment. But beneath the surface, A plan was taking shape, a plan that, if executed carefully, could bring them back to Earth. The days blurred into a monotonous routine as the humans settled into life aboard the alien vessel. Each day, the Greys would enter the habitat to select a human for a walk. At first, these outings were nerve-wracking, but over time, Jack used them as opportunities to learn about the ship's layout and systems. The Greys, oblivious to his growing awareness, continued their soothing telepathic chatter. "Come along, little one," a Grey would project. "Let's go for a nice stroll. It's good for you, yes it is. Keep moving, stay healthy and happy." Outwardly, Jack complied, nodding and following with a calm demeanor. Internally, he was hyper-aware, studying every detail: the panels, the corridors, and especially how the Greys interacted with the ship's controls. The Greys primarily controlled the ship with telepathy, but Jack noticed they also used physical interfaces, manual backups. These controls intrigued him, and his observations slowly began to make sense. Jack started recognizing patterns in the alien writing. The symbols on the panels weren't random, they had structure and meaning. With Sarah's background in communications and Jack's engineering knowledge, they worked together to decipher the symbols. One day, Jack traced 2 wavy lines on the floor. "I think this one means open. It's on every door panel I've seen." Sarah leaned in, her expression thoughtful. "That makes sense. If we figure out more symbols, we might be able to operate the controls ourselves." Greg studied the symbols Jack had drawn. "We need to be cautious. If the Greys catch on, they'll increase their surveillance. But this could be our way out." The Greys remained blissfully unaware of their captive's efforts. When they saw the humans mimicking symbols or gesturing to one another, they interpreted it as playful behavior. "Look at them," one Grey projected to another. "They're teaching each other. Isn't it delightful?" "Yes," the other Grey responded. "Such social creatures. It brings joy to see them so content." Jack took full advantage of the Greys' ignorance. During his walks, he continued studying the ship's controls, sharing his findings with the group. Progress was slow but steady. Each day brought them closer to understanding the systems, and their hope grew stronger. The ultimate goal was clear: to fully manipulate the ship's controls and escape without alerting their captors. They still had a long way to go, but for the first time, freedom felt like a possibility.